Alright, acoustic guitars. Those are those three acoustic guitars here, as you can see, middle, left and right. What I did here on the console is that I have also middle, left and right. They all went to the same reverb unit again. I used a little bit of the EQ, so I made a low cut here, which is here set at 75, and I boosted on all three guitars 12,000 Hertz. So that's on the console, and the guitars went to a instrument bus, which was a little bit of, or had a little bit of compression to it. And on the tracks itself, I pretty much did the same thing on all the guitars. So I added the 2A, as you can see, with a little bit of, let's just take the guitars here. Right, so just a little bit of compression to take away the transients and to make it not that harsh. And channel EQ on all the guitars reduced a little bit of 5,000 Hertz, and that's about it. So nothing special there. Also J37 again, and they were, even though I used a dedicated room reverb for the whole mix, I sent it to bus 11, which had another reverb unit, which is the large hall. It's the R-verb from Waves. Quite like that unit because it sounds good and it doesn't take too much CPU power. And I used here just the large hall setting, and that goes straight to my FX bus, which is channel 21 and 22 on the console. So it sounds like that. That's without and with. So it makes a little bit more spacey and gives everything a little bit of the impression that it has or was recorded in a much greater space. And on the guitars itself, that's about it. And let's move on to the electric guitars. And I have here on the electric guitar, for example, a intro, which is just the middle guitar. I used here the pedal board with a tremolo setting, and on the amp setting that I like the most, on the Logic amp simulation, which is here kind of a older amplifier. And I quite like this amp simulation here, which is kind of like a pawn shop model or something like that. I'm used here a ribbon microphone on the speaker, and quite severely increased the gain, make it a little bit overdriven, and also the treble and the bass are increased a little bit. So let's check just the one guitar out. So what you hear is here the tremolo. So that would be without the pedal board. And that's with. And just for the record here, let's bring also the electric piano in, because they actually play the very same chords and they really complement each other. And without the tremolo it sounded kind of boring. So a little effect goes sometimes a long way. And then a little bit of compression here with the CL3A. And on the channel EQ I used again a low cut here of 100, increased a little bit of 8,000 Hertz, and that's again about it. And this guitar is also sent to bus 10, which has here a chorus plug-in, which is the TAL chorus. I think it's a free plug-in, or is still free. I really like the sound. It has two different modes here, 1 and 2. The 2 or the second chorus is a little bit heavier, so kind of more chorusy, if you can say that. Went here with the number 1 complete stereo width, so it creates that it has a little bit more space left and right. Let's listen to that. Again, comes up here on the console on 21 and 22. Let's maybe increase that a little bit. Right, and with this signal itself, and without. Okay, so that's the effect here. Let's bring it back to -12. And then this is just the guitar for the chorus here. Quite the same settings here. Compression, just a little bit. Don't like to overcompress electric guitars as they are by nature compressed quite a bit with the amplifier when it's overdriven. And then on left and right, basically the same. Went also the chorus, just a tiny bit less. On the console, I used a little bit of a 12 kHz boost on the middle guitar, as well as a boost of 4K. Same goes for the left and right guitar, but no 12,000 Hertz boost. And I also reduced on the left and right a little bit, around 250, to get the muddiness a little bit out of there, and also a low cut. So that's about all I did EQ-wise on the console. All right, and then on the electric piano that you heard before, sounds like that. This was actually recorded with MIDI, and I have here, for example, the MIDI track, and with the settings that I used on this particular electric piano. This is the kind of brand new Waves Electric 88, sounds fantastic. What I used here is the amplifier section with a little bit of a drive and with a condenser microphone emulation. Increased a little bit of the bass, and mid is just as it was, left it quite there, and a little bit of a treble boost. And on the tremolo here, a little bit of a tremolo. The other band didn't deal with that too much, and that's basically, a little bit of chorus here. Increased a little bit the depth of 35.6, and I also dialed in a little bit of compression here. I don't quite know what kind of compressor there is built in, but it sounds quite pleasing. And that's the piano. Didn't use anything else on the piano itself, like a compressor or EQ, just went straight with the plugin of those settings here. And it goes also again to the reverb unit and also to the instrument bus, which is here 5 and 6. And on the channel itself here, I didn't use anything, just the auxiliary signs again on auxiliary 1 to the Alesis MIDI 4. And yeah, so that's the piano. And let's head on to the synthesizer.